I could shoot a close-up, some other director can shoot a close-up, and Bergman can shoot a close-up, and his close-up burns off the screen. It just is, because, you know, and I could be the same distance from the actor, and I could be a good actor, and...
Woody Allen är regissör, skådespelare, komiker och författare. Han sitter på sitt kontor på Manhattan i New York och erkänner att han nog tänkt på döden längre än de flesta.
When did you start thinking about death?
Very young. You know, it's been an obsessive subject with me since I was a tiny boy, 5, 6 years old. And I think that may be a big reason why Bergman resonated with me so much.
I recall my first mystical vision. I was walking through the woods thinking about Christ. If he was a carpenter, I wondered what he charged for bookshelves. Suddenly...
Who are you?
Death.
What happens after we die? Is there a hell? Is there a God? Do we live again? All right, let me ask one key question. Are there girls?
You're an interesting young man. We'll meet again.
Woody Allen upptäckte Bergman som tonåring. Han såg Sommaren med Monica eftersom den innehöll en nakenscen. Namnet Ingmar Bergman la han på minnet först när han sett Gycklarnas afton på Smultronstället.
Very shortly after that, they showed up Seventh Seal and the Magician, and by that time, I was completely, you know, hooked. I mean, completely. I just thought he was the best filmmaker that I'd ever seen.
Några år senare skrev Woody Allen manus till sin första film, What's New Pussycat. En komedi som inte blev som han ville. Och han bestämde sig för att också regissera sina filmer.
I'm good at comedy. I mean, that was my natural gift, and I can do comedy. I'm not so good at drama. It's much harder for me. In the sense that, like, say, for Bergman, I didn't find him very good at comedy. He was fabulous at drama. I have more of a flair for comedy. It comes more easily to me, and I could always do it. I could always get an audience laughing or see things through a comic perspective. When I try and do dramatic things, I'm not as sure-footed, and I don't do as well. I did reasonably well once or twice, but I should have a better record. I wish I could be better. I'm going to try again. You know, I don't mind trying. I don't mind failing, but I'd prefer to succeed. You know, it just doesn't come so easily to me.
One day, about a month ago, I really hit bottom. You know, I just felt that in a godless universe, I didn't want to go on living. Now, I happen to own this rifle, which I loaded, believe it or not, and pressed it to my forehead. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm going to kill myself. Then I thought, well, what if I'm wrong? What if there is a God? I mean, after all, nobody really knows that. But then I thought, no, you know, maybe it's not.
I thought my comedies had an odd tinge to them because I was influenced by the Marx Brothers, by Groucho Marx, a big influence on me, and Ingmar Bergman.
All of a sudden, the gun went off. I'd been so tense, my finger squeezed the trigger inadvertently. But I was perspiring so much, the gun had slid off my forehead and missed me. Suddenly, neighbors were pounding on the door, and I don't know...
Hanna och hennes systrar är en av många Woody Allen-filmer som Bergman hade i sitt arkiv.
Would you say that you and Ingmar Bergman are similar?
I think in some ways similar, without comparing us as filmmakers, because I couldn't live through that comparison, but as people, I think so. I think we both were fragile, and highly neurotic, both not suited to life as we know it on this planet. You know, I think there's a lot of similar, no good ones, but a lot of, I think we probably share a lot of weaknesses.
You commented that happiness is impossible because death is always around the corner. Is comedy a good way of dealing with that?
There is no real way of dealing with it. All you can do is distract yourself. If you don't distract yourself, then you're faced with thinking about it. When you think about it, it's a terrifying and impossible losing proposition. So it's best to try and not think about it. And if not thinking about it means that you turn on a Fred Astaire movie, or you go to a football game, or you spend your energy trying to write a play and figure out the problems of the second act, and they consume you. Great, be consumed by this trivia. If I'm preoccupied working, then I'm immersed in solvable problems. So if I can't think of a good idea for a movie, if I'm editing a movie or writing a script, or I can't get the actor I want, it seems like the end of the world, and I'm, so crushed, and the scene's not coming together, and the picture won't be good, and as if that means anything. Working for me has been a big relief from the grim realities of everyday life.
1979 var Bergman i New York.
He summoned me to dinner. It's like a summon, and of course I didn't want to go because I figured, I'm never going to hold up my end of the conversation, and I expected to find some kind of a cult figure, like Martha Graham or something, black clothes, and it was nothing like that.
Woody Allen och Ingmar Bergman blev vänner. De talade ofta i telefon.
And he would talk to me about how he couldn't go to sleep at night unless he watched some kind of junk movie for a little while, watch a little bit of like a James Bond thing or that kind of movie just to pacify him. And we never spoke about religion, God, philosophy, death. The one thing that we did speak in relation to that, he was telling me that in some of his most heavy moments, when they're doing death on the Seventh Seal, the crew would be laughing, and they would be, very aware that they were making a melodramatic moment for everybody, and nobody took anything very seriously in that sense.
I find watching your films, they're often about regret or people fearing that they will regret.
When people say to other people, do you have any regrets? And those people say, no, I have no regrets. This is what, I did. I'm always amazed because I have nothing but regrets. I mean, if I had my life to live over, there's a million things that I would do differently that I regret doing. But, and I never know how people can emerge, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and they say, well, I've had my ups and downs, but no regrets. It's amazing to me. As I say, I have nothing but regrets.